I don't think you've taken a lot of good shots, is what I'm going to say.
I haven't taken a lot of good shots. Bird man. Man bird. Titty man. Titty titty. Bird man, man bird.
Why did you
Titty man, titty titty
so
titty.
early? You just called out 9 things.
Bird man, man bird, titty man, titty titty.
Can I tell you something?
What?
It is easy to distract you.
What do you mean?
Bird man, man bird.
Bird man.
Yeah.
Man bird.
Yeah.
Titty man.
Yeah, and?
Titty titty.
Well, is it still titty titty?
Still is titty titty. You're trying to... Don't tell me your wheels.
My guy's walking around.
Don't tell me your wheels. Ludwig. I just saw wheels. What are you doing?
What's up?
Where are you going? I just saw wheels do something.
No.
Hey, look, man.
Hey.
Call me crazy, but I saw Birdman, man bird turn into Titty Bird.
Hey, look, I
think he was sitting sitting. Look, I get he's a little shorter, but I still got a shot on him.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think Wheels is a cool guy.
I see him right there. I think it might be you, Ludwig.
I
don't think you get any tests.
I think you gotta understand that Wheels kind of
I get you're trying to get me to shoot someone else as you weave in and out of these people, but soon enough, Ludwig, you're gonna run out of gas, and you're just gonna be stopped.
I think at the end of the day, you just have to understand that Wheels has a hard enough time.
Got him.
I could have kept weaving and bobbing. I've written a lot of stories. I've written a great story about Ps4.
What's that?
It's pee shyness, like when you're too nervous to pee in public.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of support groups for it. There's a whole foundation.
You ever written about the Ma situation, though?
The Ma? What's the Ma situation?
Oh, my God, he fell for the oldest trick in the book. Oh, my God, he fell for the oldest trick in the book, my balls. Oh, my God.
I'm suspicious of someone. Can I tell you that?
Who are you suspicious of?
Well, I see
you, Ludwig, I see you've got the laser.
I do.
On the small man.
I do, yeah.
Please tell me why you've got the laser on the small man.
Well, I honestly, when we started in this game, I was like, no way, right?
Right.
No way does Schlatt, big guy, pick the small man.
I'd never.
And the weird thing about the small man is that the ambassador's ass is about eye level.
Right.
And so the animation for him to touch her ass it's visual.
Did you see? Did the small man make a move?
He made a gesture.
I think you have some time to figure out who it actually is.
I can't tell if you
almost strained my muscles reaching for that one.
He's great.
We're reading Plato tonight.
I can't tell if you're baiting me. Maybe you're baiting me.
Oh, hello. Yes! Yes! I was Theodore Roosevelt!
I was tunnel vision!
You were? You're completely tunnel vision in on him!
I'm still upset. Can I tell you? Because I think he grabbed her ass, and I don't think he bugged her, so I think it was just sexual harassment.
I would expect nothing less from a man that tall.
Can I tell you I'm suspicious of someone?
Who are you suspicious of?
I'm not loving Wheels right now.
Why's that?
He just is moving a little funny.
Doesn't Wheels always move funny?
Yeah, he's just moving a little funnier than usual.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
You have what Wheels doesn't, but you lack what he has, which is obviously his tight aluminum frame, which would have blocked the bullet.
The sarcophagus. He's like King Tut in a way. You know King Tut?
I don't think you know King Tut. I'm going to hit you with, what does Tut stand for?
Tutankhamun.
I will never question you again.
There are certain things, Ludwig, that I just know about. The Hindenburg, for example.
Okay.
The Enumclaw horse sex case.
That's that picture that I sent you?
No. That's different. The Enumclaw horse sex case was a Boeing engineer who brought himself out to a ranch in Enumclaw and got himself fucked to death by a stallion. And the last bit of knowledge I know quite a bit about is actually King Tut and the Egyptians.
Yeah, you know, I would
play. I mean, are you? What's
no. Sorry. Yeah, you're good. Hello.
Do you want me in Spy Party?
You're not gonna win Spy Party. It's a waste of time to even boot it up.
Listen, I've been practicing.
That's
okay?
not true. You haven't been.
I've been watching streams. I've been watching tutorials. I will beat you in Spy Party this time.
You actually want to do a 1v1?
Yes.
All right, I will do it, but we'll make it interesting. 20 gifted to the winner.
Fine.
All right.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay. You drinking?
Yeah, I got a 2-liter of Pepsi with me.
Okay, so you can't be any of these.
No.
people. I don't think you have the ability to drink and move around.
Maybe I'm just not controlling the spy yet.
Are you trying to prove me wrong? No
Maybe
way.
I'm not controlling the spy yet.
No way you waited that long. I'll tell you what you haven't done yet. Haven't even attempted that statue. Was that the game? That was your best one yet. Have you been practicing that? That was so good.
I told you, bro. I've been practicing. That's all I've been doing.
I think I have an idea of who you are here.
You do?
Yeah.
Why's that?
Because when you were drinking, I predicted that you were walking without touching your mouse, because I think you're a righty. And so I think you were someone walking in a straight line, and there was only one person doing that. And they were also in a circle that just said banana bread.
Impossible.
Uh-huh.
Impossible.
It
simply
feels
not me.
possible.
It's simply not me, Ludwig. Wheels, baby! Wheels! What? Wow!
How could I have ever
Wheels!
Wheels?
It's always wheels!
It was such an unlikely
I'm
pick.
always wheels! Hey, boys, get in the chat, twitch.tv/JSchlatt. We're the biggest offline Twitch stream on the site.
Thanks, very fun having you on again.
Thank you,
very
sir.
great.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for the 25th event.
Always happy to play.
Yeah,
Take it easy, have a good
absolutely.
stream, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Love you.
Son of a fucking bitch, man. Son of a bitch, dude. He went fucking wheels on me.
Suddenly, I'm straight.
Hi, sisters! JSchlatt here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You guys know me. I'm a pretty big fan of James Charles. I tweet at him all the time. He responds to me all the time. We kind of have a connection there that very few people have. But today is different because not only did me and James Charles tweet at each other, we played Among Us together. This was the biggest moment of my life. James, you're not wearing anything. You should put on a nice outfit.
I have a paper hat on. What are you talking about?
You do? I don't see anything.
Schlatt, based on all your thirsty tweets, wouldn't you think you'd want me with nothing on anyway?
That sigh.
Me and James have been in the DMs for a while. I've shot my shot before, to no avail. But now that we were in a call together, I figured now was the perfect opportunity to take our relationship to the next step. Hey James, I just invited you to my private Discord.
Okay, I'm there.
All right, cool.
Wait, which server is this for?
It's just one with me and James.
Oh my god, I thought this was for the video. How do I leave?
It's just you and me, James.
Oh my god, how do you get out of there? Oh no. Oh no.
You're the one looking at it. Anyways, without any further ado, please enjoy the hottest gaming session of all time. Oh, I guess there's further ado. I'm running for president, and I need your help. I made clothing! That's right! Oh my...
On the 1st of July 2020, Trackmania was released. A competitive Formula 1 racing game mixed with Hot Wheels elements like loops, wall rides, and jumps. In Trackmania, the objective is to set the fastest time you can on any track you play, so the game is basically made for speedrunning. With the game came 25 tracks to compete for world records on in the Summer 2020 campaign. The summer campaign would last from the 1st of July until the 1st of October, where the leaderboards on all tracks would then be locked forever. So we effectively had 3 months to set the best times we could before they would be immortalized in the game. Going into the season, I had set my goal at achieving at least one world record, but I could never have anticipated what a long and winding journey it would be. This is how I got a dream world record in Trackmania. Just before we begin, we are getting so close to 100,000 subscribers on the channel, and I know that many of my viewers aren't subscribed. So if you like my videos, then please consider subscribing and help me reach that goal. It would really make my day. Thanks, and enjoy the video. My journey began on launch day, July 1st, where as soon as the game released, I immediately went into the campaign and started playing the tracks, looking for shortcuts. After playing for about an hour, I'd gone through most of the campaign tracks without finding much of anything. But then I got to track 19. Already in my first playthrough of 19, I noticed something peculiar, a potential shortcut in the start, and my interest was immediately piqued. Boys, do you see what are you looking at what I'm looking at here right now? Because I'm seeing a potential overfall down to the dirt. If it works, that would be very nice. Maybe there's a shortcut here. Because you can climb dirt walls, right? Oh, it's totally possible. It's totally possible. Is it faster though? The shortcut idea did indeed work. Because of the way dirt roads in Trackmania curved upwards, you could simply climb over the border and drop down on the other side, skipping a turn and saving 1 to 2 seconds.
Hello there.
Let's have a look at the entire track. Following the start shortcut, the track continues through a tight zigzag section, where you have to make your way at full speed past an army of poles. But then you make your way up the ice road into a sharp 180-degree dirt turn. In this turn, we quickly realized we could use a trick called the bug slide. If you line up the car 90 degrees sideways and start drifting, the car can do a very sharp turn while maintaining a lot of speed. But bug sliding does not work while your car still has ice on the wheels, and since we just came from an ice uphill, we had to wait until the very moment the car gained normal grip before sliding. The timing had to be perfect or else you'd fly out of the track. After that, you get to the middle section. In the middle of 19, you drive over an engine off block, which as the name suggests, turns off your car's engine. The engine will stay off the next checkpoint, and the car will just slowly roll down the hill and over the straight until it turns back on. Then the track ends just as it started, with another sharp 180-degree dirt turn. There were a lot of moving parts on track 19, but that was what made it so interesting to me. I ended up playing the track for about an hour on the first day, trying to nail down both the start shortcut and the bug slide in a single run. And finally, I had this attempt. A run where I executed both a solid wall climb and a decent bug slide. Ah, okay, it's the timing. I was too early most of the time. Boys, this is a pog and run, we could get it here. Keep the pace. And 5407. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a world record, the first of its kind, a shortcut world record. Very cool, very fun. My record, of course, wouldn't last. There were many parts of my run that could be refined. And over the next few days, Dark took it upon himself to go for a clean run on the map. First lowering the world record down to a 52.09. Over 2 seconds faster than my time. Dark had gotten most parts of the run clean. He had a much faster wall climb in the start and got an amazing bow slide as well, preserving a lot of speed going into the engine off section. He then zoomed towards the end and finished strong with a great last turn. Dark's 51.94 was a very tough run to go up against, and for the next few days, I decided to put track 19 on the back foot, as I was focusing more on playing other tracks at the time. But my interest in the map was piqued again when Bird, one of my viewers, had discovered a crazy new potential shortcut on the map, the engine off skip. I mean... But wait! Oh, but isn't this actually so good? Up until this point, we'd been driving over the engine off block in the middle section of the map, then slowly rolling our way up towards the next checkpoint, where the engine would be turned back on. Bird's idea was to avoid crossing the engine off block with a crazy bounce, so your engine would still be on for the long straight and the uphill, temporarily losing you a lot of time, but maybe gaining it back with additional speed towards the ending. The bounce looked ridiculous, but I knew that as crazy as it looked, the engine off skip was my chance to reclaim the 19 record. So I once again went back to the track and got to work. In my very first attempt on the new shortcut, I got it near perfectly, though I was over 6 seconds behind at that point. But if that wasn't enough, I had it good on my second attempt as well. With those initial attempts, we were able to determine that Bird's shortcut idea, done well, could save upwards of 1.5 seconds, and the race was on to become the first person to complete it. Eventually, I decided not to go for the box set anymore, so I could get even more consistent and get as many attempts at the bounce as possible. After playing for over 4 hours that night, it was getting late, but still feeling confident and not wanting to let the opportunity go, I kept pushing on to do just a few more attempts. And that is when this run happened. That's the run. That's the run. That's the run, boys. Wow. 51-13. I'd finally gotten the 19 record back, and with a huge improvement, beating out Dark's old record by almost a second. I was feeling very relieved, happy, and ready to finally get some sleep. But before I went off, we were just going to do one final record comparison, when we noticed that a lot of the top records on the track had disappeared, including Dark's old record. Other players were telling me that they couldn't see my record either, but I didn't think too much of it, and I went to sleep. The next morning when I woke up and checked the game, my record was completely gone, as if it had never happened, and the new world record on the track was now a 52.7 by Halpump, almost 2 seconds slower than the time I'd set just hours ago. It took a while for us to figure out what had happened, but that night there was an update to Trackmania, wherein they tried to improve the anti-cheat system to detect more illegitimate records. But the system wasn't perfectly fine-tuned, and it detected my 51-13 that was driven legitimately on screen as cheated, and the record was removed from the leaderboards. I waited for the next few days to see if the record would be somehow reinstated, but after waiting for a full week with no new updates from the devs, I decided to take matters into my own hands and return to track 19 once again. This time though, I knew I wouldn't be happy with a run slower than the one I had, and the only part left to improve massively on was the bug slide. So I started doing attempts going for all 3 tricks, hoping to get a miracle run where everything worked as planned. But the odds were slim. I did some rough calculations on my consistency, where I assumed that if I could get the start wall climb half the time, and the bug slide half the time as well, and a ballpark number that my chance of getting the bounce was maybe 1 in 20 tries, the overall chance of me getting a run with all 3 tricks combined was 1.25%, or around 1 in 80 attempts. And that's not accounting for other things that could go wrong, like crashing in the zigzag parts, or choking. Whatever the actual probability was, it was a hard task, and it was definitely unlikely to happen. But I was fired up and motivated to reclaim my deleted record and prove my innocence. And I was getting so close. Stay calm under pressure. I don't falter and make a dumb mistake when I'm on world record pace, so whenever chat says pull a virtual, what they're really saying is perform under pressure. So, yeah, if you didn't know, now you know, Simon. You'll see the log here. Okay. Alright, we're done. We're so done. Yeah, Nadio, so about that record, huh? Please don't delete this one. It's legit. I repeat, it is legit. I drove it on stream. I'll send you the replay. Let it stay. I can't improve this. 50.55. I hadn't just reclaimed my world record. I'd completely smashed it, going nearly 0.6 of a second faster due to having a decent start, a decent bug slide, and a great ending. This run overall felt solid, and I found it hard to believe that anyone was going to beat it. But little did I know, it wouldn't even stand for 24 hours. You see, just a few days prior, Hefest, one of the best Trackmania world record hunters in previous games, had started going on an absolute tear through the Summer 2020 campaign, getting world record after world record, destroying everything in his path. And the next track on his hit list was track 19. After playing it for just a few hours, Hefest managed to set a time of 50.42, beating my record by 0.13 of a second. I was quite bummed out about losing my record so soon, but the comparison between our runs showed that there was still a lot of room for improvement. Hefest gained a lot of time on me in the bug slide, where I gained a lot of time on him again in the bounce. If someone had a run where everything went perfectly, then I thought maybe the 50-second barrier could be broken, and a 49.9 second time could be achieved. Anyhow, I knew I wasn't done yet, and I was not going to lose my record with Hefest without a fight. So once again, I booted up track 19 and started hunting. This time I was playing off stream. I needed to use every part of my focus on all the small details that make up a run, and I didn't want to get distracted or falter under the pressure. And the approach was working out. My runs were somehow faster than ever, and I would often be far in front before the engine off skip, sometimes even getting checkpoints under 30 seconds, which was very fast. Then, just one day after Hefest beat me, a tiny miracle happened. I started driving a run where, on the first wall climb, I got incredibly lucky, landing on the road border and getting a push that propelled me forwards. And right out the gate, I was already far ahead. It was the fastest start I'd ever had on the map. My following bug slide wasn't ideal, but it was more than good enough with the lead I had. But sadly, when I went for the bounce, I immediately saw that I had messed up the setup, steering to the right just a tad, but enough to throw me off the perfect line. I didn't hit the box in the correct way, and because of that, my car had a way wrong nose angle when it hit the wall. In that moment, I thought there was no way that this would possibly bounce back to the road. But the car kept spinning, and somehow rotated perfectly for the back to bounce on the top ledge, pushing me towards the road. And somehow, as scuffed as the landing angle looked, it worked out as well. It took me a moment to realize I'd actually survived that sequence, and all of a sudden I was now marching down the road towards the end on world record pace.
Make some one book.
Okay, I need 2 more bot verses.
I gathered myself as fast as possible, and while my last turn was far from ideal, I held the lead, and I finished with a time of 50.30, a new world record. I couldn't understand how that run worked out, but it did, and for the time being, the 19 record was once again mine. But things were about to change quickly. A few days later, Hafez answered back with an absolute bomb of a run. He had done the near impossible, and my dream of holding the 19 record would be shattered. Hafez had broken the 50-second barrier. The run was honestly pristine. When I first saw it, I was at a loss for words, and I knew that beating it would be close to impossible. Hafez got every part of the track down to near perfection, and beat my record by 0.4 of a second. It felt like there was nothing left to do except say GG and give up. But before giving up, I decided I'd sleep on it and make up my mind if I would continue the grind in the following morning. That night though, I didn't get much sleep. My mind was racing, and I kept thinking about track 19. One thing I couldn't quite shake about Hafez's run was how much speed he had kept after the engine off skip. Going into the last section, Hafez had 377 speed, whereas I in my PB only had 368 speed. I was examining the track and thinking if there was anything you could do with that amount of speed on the last jump. At first I thought maybe you could jump to the left and skip the last turn, but that wouldn't really work. The road was too far away, and even if you somehow reached it, the tires still had ice on them, making the landing unmanageable. Then I thought maybe you could jump and land in the bug slide to the left, but the turn was too far away for that. Or was it? Because right then, it hit me. An idea so clever that it sent shivers down my spine. An idea that would maybe make it possible to bug slide through the last turn. I immediately got out of bed and went to the computer to try it out, and what I thought of was this. Bug sliding the end could realistically be faster, but the problem was that you need to get in range to do it through the turn. And in order to do that, my idea was to spin the car 180 degrees on the last jump and land backwards, then drive backwards up the hill to get in range, wait for the perfect moment, and bug slide. Sure enough, the idea worked. I just discovered a brand new trick on 19 after being so close to giving up just a few hours earlier. After testing the trick for a while, I estimated that the 180 bug slide combo could save about 3 to 0.4 of a second in the ending, and I could get it about 1 every 3 attempts. Adding a 1 in 3 probability to the end of a 1 in 80 probability run wasn't exactly a great feeling, but the time gain meant that I only had to match my 50.30 run in terms of pace in order to beat Hafez. And if I was ever going to reclaim the 19 record, this trick was now how I'd have to do it. Then, on the 26th of July at 2 a.m., I started riding the run. Things started off good for me with a fast wall climb, and I landed with really good speed. So good speed in fact that I had to steer sharply to avoid hitting the wall, costing me a bit of speed. The zigzag section afterward was good, and I cleared all the turns at full speed. The bug slide setup was close to perfect, and I went into the slide at the earliest possible moment. But then, I got an otherworldly bounce, keeping around 200 speed as I passed the narrowed road, which is the highest that I've ever seen. At this point, I knew that this run was not just fast. It was faster than Hefest's 49.92. It was the fastest run that's ever been driven up until the last turn of 14. And now, all I had to do was clutch the ending.
Yeah, what's up? Welcome to the stream.
49.243. This run blew away all my expectations. Going into it, I had thought that Hefest's 49.92 wasn't beatable without the new trick. But the trick only saved me 0.4 of a second, and the rest of the time difference I'd gained in other parts of the map. But the bounce I had in the middle was the fastest one ever, and when I had the chance, I kept my calm in the ending and brought it home with the new trick. I was incredibly happy and relieved with this record, after struggling so much with my motivation to keep hunting. This was the payoff for all the hours I'd put into it. The new trick, combined with everything else.
Welcome back to Tasty's Making It Big, where we make giant versions of some of America's most beloved foods. Today, I'm going to be making a giant boba milk tea drink, but the thing is, I've never made boba from scratch. So I'm going to call my friend Inka. She was my co-host on the Giant Ramen episode, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, enough talking, let's get started. What's up, Inka?
How's it going, Alvin?
Good. We are using your boba recipe today to make a giant boba. I'm going to get started. So, first thing is the sugar in the water, right? Okay, stir it until it gets dissolved, right?
Yep.
Wait, what heat should I be cooking this on?
Basically just enough for the sugar to melt. You don't want it to be on high heat. Do you have it on high heat?
That was on high heat.
Yikes. Yeah, basically once it's warm, you want to remove it from the heat, actually.
Oh, remove it,
and add the starch.
Sorry, table. That 1 tablespoonful?
That's a lot. That's like a little bit.
Okay, so like that?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, she said it, so if the recipe goes wrong, it's not my fault.
You know, I can only see so much from the Zoom.
Oh, that's true. It's 100% my fault.
As you're stirring it, right, it should form into like almost like a paste. That's great. Once it's all dissolved, you want to return it to the heat, and now you just cook it down until it's slightly thick.
Okay, return to the heat. Wow, it's like 3 ingredients, but the amount of like technique is quite a lot. I think it's getting kind of thick now. The rest of the starch goes in, and then stir fast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's getting sticky. Oh boy.
Is it like really lumpy?
It's like scrape off the bottom of the pan, yo. How do I know when to get it out?
You're supposed to get it out like ASAP, but...
Oh, okay. ASAP. Alright. So far, things are going bad.
Dude, that's really liquidy.
Your recipe, yo.
Like, can you work with this? Do you think? Like, I can't feel it. So.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like... Oh, God. Okay, it looks really weird right now, so I'm not gonna... I don't know how to describe this texture. It's a little sticky, and it's kind of warm. What the heck? It's kind of like alive. The moment you set it down, it like does its own thing. But when you try to move it, it's like a rock.
Wait, okay, then I think there's something wrong.
What's wrong?
It's not supposed to be like a rock. Yo, I don't think that's right. When you're putting the starch in it, remember how like for you it was just like a liquid? It's supposed to be like a dough at that point already. No, like it comes right off, right? That's not right. When you pull it, it should be stretchy at this point.
Stretchy?
I think we have to redo it, Alvin.
Oh no.
It's 100% my fault.
It's okay, it's only a few ingredients, it'll be okay.
We'll be right back. Attempt number 2, you were saying that I messed up in the sauce, like the thick sauce stage?
We think that's what it is, that you need to get it to a consistency of a thick mochi sauce, and hopefully that's the problem.
Thick mochi sauce, thick mochi sauce, thick mochi sauce. Can you see this? Is that almost there, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, keep going. Ah, that's where. That was the issue. I think the first time I didn't make the thick mochi sauce. It was just sauce.
Oh, yeah, I think it's
Are
good.
you 100% sure? I'll take the blame. You can.
I'm like 85%, 80%.
Oh, that's a B. We can 75.
Okay, let's add the start.
Okay, off heat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you worried?
Oh, 100%.
Let's go for it.
Okay, she said go for it. Please work.
Does it feel different?
Oh, it feels so different. Oh my god. Like nothing's really getting stuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now what you have to do is roll it out a little bit into like an oval shape. Divide it into 3 sections.
Okay.
You need to wrap plastic around 2 of the doughs. This is just to help retain its moisture and heat.
What's next?
Roll this one out into like a long snake shape until it's like roughly around
0.5. You have a ruler with you?
Yeah, I do. 0.5 is actually still too big. It should be a little smaller.
Like a finger?
Like a finger!
Okay. Yeah, look at that. Little ball.
Oh, that looks so nice! Yes, looks great. Beautiful.
Boba has a pretty unique texture when cooked. How do you describe what it tastes like or feels like?
Well, the taste is faintly sweet, but the texture is QQ.
QQ.
So QQ is the term that people in Thailand use to describe the texture when it's kind of chewy, it has a slight bounce to it, but it's not rubbery. I feel like there's a misconception there. Mochi is kind of QQ, you know, like it's that kind of a situation. And QQ is my favorite word to describe everything. Noodles can also be QQ when they're cooked right.
Hey, Jet.
I have currently rolled only this much.
Jet.
Yay!
Oh my god, thank you for helping me.
Good luck, Alvin. I'm sorry I can't be there to help.
I have a lot of things. I'm gonna be here for
Jet, do llamas give you like leather or anything?
Okay, we're back in the Tasty Kitchen with a huge pot with boiling water for the tea.
Nolan.
These are black tea bags. These are the ones that I use when I used to make and sell bubble milk tea. I'll tell you guys that story later, but essentially, you would just take these tea bags and drop it in. We have 500 tea bags. Sounds like a lot. That's because it is. I think this might have enough caffeine to keep an elephant going for a very, very long time. Alright, so this is all the tea. It's been chilled, it's been brewed. As you can tell, the color is super intense. It's like 22 liters or so. I don't know how many cups of boba that's gonna make, but I think the answer is a lot. Okay. After many hours and some culinary assistance, we were able to make a lot of fresh boba. 4 trays. Probably like 1,000 of these little ones. Alright, in we go. Ooh, they're like little bullets. Oh wow, this is really hot. Woo-wee. Alright, let's give these a stir. One more. Here we go. Oh, this is burning. Don't kill yourself, Alvin. Come on. That was pretty intense. In Inga's recipe, the goal is to cook these until the bobas rise to the surface. Got these little boba balls. Ooh, whoa. All these little bobas, they're nice and fun. So I'm going to take these guys directly into some ice water. Inga said this step is really important because it sort of shocks the outside of the boba and helps to give it that QQ texture that she was talking about.
Huh?
And they can't stay in the ice water for too long.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a lot of little boba balls to cook,
Yeah.
so...
Did you see what
guys
happened?
have
Cody tried to lay on his bed.
pretty important part about
But
boba,
that
at
happened.
least for me, is if it has like a nice
He tried
brown
to-
sugar syrup.
Cody,
To start, 5
he
cups
tried
of
to lay
water
on
into this giant pot. And 7.5 cups
Gonna
of
need
dark brown
nails.
sugar. Stir
Gonna
this
need
until
nails.
everything comes together. You sort of have this syrupy brown sugar that's really nice, and it
Yeah.
coats the outside of the cup, and it kind of
Yeah.
makes this streaky pattern. Probably my favorite part is going to be cooking the boba in it. So here we go. Just stir until it gets nice and sticky and sugary and delicious. Oh my god, it smells amazing. Dude, it tastes good. Oh, that's good. Alright, I'm gonna let this cool down.
Not that
And
bad.
then we're gonna go build the boba drink. Woohoo!
Oh my
Okay, so I found a vase that's apparently supposed to be used in hotel lobbies around the world as my boba glass. And it's 10 inches by 30 inches tall, which
But why the hell am I being gangbashed by an Enderman already?
No, Alvin, there's no pressure. You just can't do it again if you mess it up. Let's get the boba in. Oh my god, there it is.
I'm dead.
Perfect. There is a huge vertical distance that this is gonna have to travel. Probably gonna spill
Shit,
everywhere,
I
but
didn't get
that's
this,
okay.
buddy. I just entered the
Really hot.
bloody nether portal, and then the Enderman just straight away attacked me.
Oh wow, it's like steaming the glass stuff.
Yeah, they do that. Those are grunting fucks.
I gotta use the sound for that, right? We could skip past that part, that's fine. The dream was to have the whole thing 100% fresh boba, but I unfortunately don't have the manpower and miscalculated a lot of this, so I asked our culinary team to get some of the fast quick boba. I still wanted it to have the look of a real boba milk tea. So in this boba there is a mix. It's not all fresh, but I still think it's going to taste great. So please don't be too mean to me in the comments, but that's what we ended up doing. At the shops, they kind of get the brown sugar drizzle going down the sides. Kind of want to emulate that, so we're gonna... That's a spill. We're gonna do this. Whee! Wow, this sound is really something else, huh? Okay, looks kind of cool. I'm pretty into it. Oh, I was going to tell you guys a story about how I used to sell boba back in the day. I was a junior high school kid. After lunch, we always go get boba. But also doing it. So I dropped out of Chinese school, much to the dismay of my mother. Figured out how to make boba at home. Went to Costco, got the big cups. The recipe was exactly the same as this tea. I set up a little table outside a classroom. And when the bell rang and the kids came out, I sold it for $2.50 without boba, $3 with boba. The kids would buy it. Made a couple $100 that summer. When I ran out of boba, my mom would actually stay at home to cook the boba and drive over a couple of batches whenever I ran out. But in return, she asked for 50% of all proceeds. I was like, Mom, that's a lot of money. And she was like, Alvin, I'm just trying to teach you. This is how life works. She told me that she was actually going to save the 50% and put it in my bank account later. I never saw that money ever in my life again. She denies all allegations and has no recollections of the final amount of money I had. If you're watching, Mom, all my money back, yo. You can't make milk tea without milk. So, thanks, cows. Ooh, look at that. Dang. That was pretty cool. This is bigger than my wildest dreams. Please hold. Don't break. So, couldn't find a straw that was big enough on Amazon, so I ended up ordering a clear PVC pipe. I think this is the only thing that will be usable for this boba. I'll be very careful with this, but here we go. Get in there. Oh, it went to the bottom. Now we are going to slowly stir. Is it moving? I can't tell. Whew, this is actually really hard. Oh my god, this camera is pissing me off up here. Slow. This is wild. Oh my god, my shoulders are so tired. Okay, I think that's all the stirring I can do. Wow, this is the complete finished thing. This is a lot of boba. I don't even know how much this weighs. I'm gonna have to do some math later, but I do want my friend Ika to see the final result, so I'm gonna give her a call and just show her what we got.
What's up?
How's it going? You want to see the giant boba that we made?
Yeah, show me.
Alright, 1, 2, 3.
Oh my god. Wait, is that a straw?
It's a PVC pipe.
Oh my god, this is that's so much tea and so much boba.
Yeah, it's 6 gallons of milk, 22 liters of black tea.
This is crazy. I love it. Congratulations. You did it. You made it. The giant boba tea.
I mean, this is your recipe, just times 500.
Enjoy.
Alright, bye, Inka. Wow. This is really good. I think this is definitely something you could serve at a boba shop, and people would buy it. So you guys are probably wondering what's going to happen with all that boba. I would have loved to share it with my friends, people that I like to feed, just because that's something I like to do with the show. But unfortunately, that's just not something I'm able to do right now. So if you excuse me, I have a lot of things to drink. I had a lot of fun today, and I hope you guys had fun watching. So I'll see you guys next time.
Okay, Nolly, I'm coming.